the pace with control of this race. Here comes a run from Davey Hazard. He blocks the 10. Not going to be enough. Ryan Pace is going to win at Talladega.
Curry trying to hold off Wilson. He's done a good job so far. Wilson, one last desperate attempt to the bottom. He won't get there. Nick Curry wins at Bristol.
Coming out turn number 2, coming down the back straightaway here. Looks like he's in a class of his own right now.
Merzlak, one final time, get around the 55, big time send.
He hits the wall, he hits it, he gets the lead, but can he hang on to it? Oh my goodness, he made it to the line!
Big push down the backstretch is going to give him a good run through the corners.
Just a little bit
follow from the 1.
A little bit of contact there for second, but coming to the line, Toby Roberson's going to take home the checkered flag and victory here from the new Atlanta Motor Speedway.
Before I wrap things up here in this segment, your thoughts on the type of race we're going to see tonight? And I would have to agree.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to tonight's feature presentation of the Openspeedway Talladega 400 from Talladega Superspeedway here in Talladega, Alabama. As always, I'm your host, JoeTowNetwork. I'll be bringing you through 400 miles and 150 laps of racing action here from the largest track in all of stock car racing, the Talladega Superspeedway. It's Aero 88 style, high throttle, never let off the gas racing here tonight or this afternoon rather, from Talladega. So again, as always, folks, cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Qualifying is currently underway. You'll start to see those times trickle across the top of your screens at home as the drivers lay down their fast lap here in qualifying to try to start themselves up as close to the front of the field as possible. We're going to go, of course, for 150 laps here from the Talladega Superspeedway. This, of course, is your AutoSim 2 race preview. Remember, you can check out AutoSim 2. It's now available on the Steam store for $9.99. Again, go check it out. AutoSim 2, the premier text-based simulated motorsports racing game. Again, AutoSim 2, now available on Steam. The weather, inconsistently consistent, going to be 60 degrees instead of 70 there. Got about a 6 mile per hour wind here in qualifying. We'll see how that changes throughout the afternoon. But, folks, it's another one of these special events here for Openspeedway. We are so glad to be broadcasting for you here tonight. And we know all these drivers, they are going to put it all on the line to win this one of the big ones here at Openspeedway. If you want to get in on the action or you want to find out more about the league, you can always head on over to openspeedway.net. There you can find the rule book and how to get involved with the guys, the drivers, the cars, the stars of the Openspeedway Racing League. Racing, I believe, every night of the week here at Openspeedway too. A great place. Ricky, of course, earlier this year when we were at Daytona talked about great place to kind of get your feet wet and learn a lot of really good racing etiquette. The rule book, some would say, is strict. I think it's good. Promoting a lot of really good, promoting these drivers to get a lot of really good habits in place. And we'll see some of those here tonight, like one of them being no low lining until we get to that final lap. So you kind of see the drivers work their way off that yellow line on the bottom. It's going to be really interesting to watch too with CTS physics tonight, how these drivers are able to navigate all of the lanes here at Talladega, all of the speed that can generate. But with CTS physics, folks, you're a little bit slower. It's a little harder to make those runs by yourselves. We've seen a lot of Talladega racing this week. Think back to Wednesday night's Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series race for something that will be comparable that you've recently watched here on JTN. It's a good reminder, too, that we got a great back catalog of races, so that's why you want to make sure you're subscribed. You can dig through. You can go back and watch the Openspeedway Daytona 500 from February. And a lot of really great other NR 2003 racing. We have the best NR 2003 racing on the web. All the leagues are right here on JTN, so make sure you're checking that out. And as always, cannot thank you enough, so we appreciate you. And make sure you say hello in chat as well. Qualifying has run its course. Since I'm here riding solo, I'm going to take you through tonight's starting lineup. On row number 1, it's the number 17 of BSR SR5 at a time of 52.595 seconds. To the outside will be the 12 of DVDN. Row 2 going to be the 7 of Jim Williams and the 088 of Greg Lovell. Rocket, a fan favorite in the 22, going to line up in 5th with the 079 Balser. In row number 3, Kelly Causey and Rick Speed in the 00 and 008 going to line up on row number 4. And rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 24, Brett Faulkner, and the 21 of Randy Waugh. Dave Davis and A Legend going to roll off on row number 6. Row 7 going to be the 50 of Ryan DeHart, and the 084 of Ralph LeBlanc. Rick Becker and Clifford Shaw Jr. going to roll off back there on row number 8, and all by his lonesome on row number 9. It'll be the number 500 car of Dudley Smith. So 17 cars here. Looks like we're missing 1, 2 as well for the entry list. We'll see if that driver shows up. We'll be able to read off their name and get them their shout out here on JTN. It's going to be a great day of racing here on JTN. We have USORL Cup Series action later tonight as well at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time, so make sure you check that out. Their regular season finale from the Michigan International Speedway before they set their playoff/chase grid. Still that regular season championship on the line. My producer Bristol also reminding me, make sure to remind you folks at home to make sure you're following us on our social media at JoeTowNetwork on Twitter, Facebook, and TikTok, as well as Instagram. You won't miss a second of the racing action if you're following us on all of those platforms. Driver meeting is underway, so reason why we don't see the cars there, but the fans are getting packed into the stands mere minutes away from 400 miles, 150 laps of racing action here from the Talladega Superspeedway. There's not much else I can say there, folks. I mean, see Magoo in chat saying hello. Welcome in, Magoo. Hope you're having a relaxing Saturday. Or there was snow there this past week. Got lucky enough. I had hail today, actually, but still not as bad as snow accumulating on the ground. Be a little frustrating come end of April to have some snow. Although producer Bristol would be very happy to have some snow on the ground. Again, folks, we're just waiting for the start of this race. Got about a minute, 20 seconds left here in happy hour. Warm today, Magoo says, in the 50s. That is good to hear. Good to hear. That means nice weather's coming my way, too, so. Yeah. What else can be said? I'm looking at the producer here. Again, the best dog producer in all of esports is our producer Bristol. Bristol the dog. He's a good boy on and off the track, on and off the headset. Lots of wind, Magoo says. Wind can almost be worse though than like being really cold. Obviously, it's a little worse when it's like, down there in the 20s or below, but wind can always be a little bit of a culprit. I have a big head of hair too, so not a big fan of the wind, but I don't know. I think Magoo, you can correct me if I'm wrong. I see you in chat again. I think you ride motorcycles and stuff, so I think I don't know if the wind's a good thing for that or not. I'm probably maybe not riding today, but Nelly, welcome in, Nelly. All right, folks. Well, drivers being called to their cars. Again, 150 laps. Here from Talladega. Everyone getting set up on the grid. And we're missing the Greg in the 088. We'll try to get that remedied if we have an opportunity here. Just imagine it's the traditional Texaco Haviland car that we see Greg running everywhere else.
Drivers, start your engines!
Ronnie, that's okay. I'd love to have you in chat here this afternoon. Rather see you on track, but I'm sure you're going to give us some good insight in chat here. Watching the Openspeedway Talladega 400. And it's going to be SR5 with control here for the start. To the outside, it's going to be DVD and the number 12. 7-car Jim Williams, the 088, that blue Buick there is Greg Lovell. Apologies to Greg for not having the livery on, or paint scheme on that car. I guess I can say paint scheme. These are this is the Aero 88 mod for folks that are looking to see what we're racing at Talio 6 V3. But the pace car's in. You don't want to hear about that. You want to see some racing. That's why you're tuning into JTN this afternoon. Well, we have it for you. SR5, the Tide Ride with control as the field approaches the start. The Openspeedway Talladega 400. Great flag. We're underway here from Talladega. Jim Williams going to lead the opening lap here. Pole sitter in the number 17 SR5. Got out to a lead, elected to jump up into that outside line. But then quickly put into the sucker hole. 17 car lost a lot of spots there on that opening lap. Battle for the lead is on, though. That Bacardi car at the 22 of Rocket goes to the point. Williams now going to get stuck in the middle. Saw a blue car of Lovell drop down to the inside line. It reports that someone put the engine in upside down in the 079 car. Rocket now going to go to the back as the 00 Kelly Causey got to go to the point. Cisco car. Buick there. '24 car. Now Brad Faulkner to the lead. Lead getting swapped here every so often. Again, we talked about it. Driver is told not to low line. We can't stay too low. And now the pole sitter of a 17. Our SR5 going to go back to the point. Going to have to jump up. That's going to allow the 008 of Rick Speed, Budweiser car, to get to the inside. Already a lot of lead swapping here. Opening laps of the Openspeedway Talladega 400. And going for 150 laps tonight. Familiar sight as the Nate Budweiser car is out in front of the field trying to get this outside line going. But here comes that 21 Alabama Crimson Tide Monte Carlo of Randy Waugh. He'll go to the point with help from the 42. That's Marty Robbins' car. That being Legend in that number 42 car is... He'll get to the inside of Waugh, looking for the lead here, coming to the line. I think that 21 should be able to have it that lap. Now going to get dumped to the outside. Jim Williams. Urox Thunderbird. He'll go back to the point. A lot of swapping of the lead here in these opening laps, making it really interesting to watch these drivers and how they'll have to set up the second half of this race. Ryan DeHart there in the Crunchmobile, number 50. They're going to put DVD in the 12 up the middle. He'll get caught in the sucker hole. And he'll have to follow the back here. Again, folks, if you haven't already, I'd appreciate click the like button on the video. Make sure you're subscribed if this is your first time tuning in here on JTN. Can't thank you enough, as always. Here on a Saturday afternoon, 400 miles of racing from the Talladega Superspeedway on deck. We're 7 laps into this one. Remember, we're going to have more great racing action coming up for you throughout the rest of the weekend and the coming weeks. So again, you want to be subscribed, click the bell icon. You'll be notified anytime we go live. Inside line now once again trying to separate itself. 24 of Faulkner. The Napa Chevrolet. You see all these cars now kind of going to that middle line. The 070 of Rick Becker, though, dives to the bottom. That Green Bay Packers Chevrolet. Got help from DVD in the 12. Little loosey-goosey there off of corner number 4, able to save the car. These Aero 88 cars, they are so hard to save, so an impressive feat there early on in this race to keep that car underneath them, and Becker going to lead this lap. But as you see from our pylon on the left, the field all still within 1 second of each other. Ralph LeBlanc back there, the Haviland car. In danger of losing tow, but should be able to keep up as they're side by side in front of them. Now here comes DVD to the inside looking for the lead. They are swapping this lead back and forth and back and forth. And they'll be drag racing down the back here as now the 12 car going to get stuck in the middle. Here comes the 17 once again. SR5, tied ride. Faulkner still in the Chevrolet, that 24 Napa car on the outside. There's two Chevys now battle for the point here coming off of turn number 4, working lap 10. Now 17 going to get stuck in the middle, so outside line not too willing to play with those guys as they try to jump up into it to lead it. And the inside line, well, they're all too happy to see the car in front of them jump out of line. Briscoe and Bacardi go well together. I don't know. Rodney, I don't know if I'm going to take your word on that, because that does not sound like it goes very well together. Still some great side-by-side racing here at the front of the field. Everyone keeping it nice and competitive here. And this is why we talked about Openspeedway being a great place to learn, because the way the rules are and the way the rules work here at Openspeedway, they really encourage you to try to make these passes, not to be necessarily aggressive, like we saw the 22 Rocket be there as they're nose to tail, about 5 deep in the outside line. It's going to get a little hairy going into turn number 1, or turn number 3, excuse me. But it encourages you to take those risks, take calculated risks, make them at the right time. And in doing that, it helps you learn those things, which I think are sometimes skills that it's really hard for drivers to figure out, especially early on in their sim racing careers. You see the 070 of Becker going to get stuck in the middle now. As that inside line is able to get ahead of the outside. .008 of Rick Speed got to the lead, but now will be shuffled out by, saying his name for the first time tonight, Dave Davis in the 98. That black car leading the inside line. SR5 and Jim Williams behind him, the 17 and 7. And now that we've got 13 laps on our tires, I think we're going to start to see these guys try to get this thing single filed out. I think it's going to be a little bit harder to start making moves, but as I say that, Williams looks to the inside of the 17 for the second position. 98 of Davis going to stay up. As always, as is true with every league, once I say something, everything changes. You think you know what when they're gonna zig, but then they zag, you know? Davis has to be careful in this 98 not to get stuck out in line. Looks like 17 will follow the 7 here. That's allowed Rick Becker to retake the lead. Another guy we're saying his name for the first time tonight, Balser. Nate Balser in the 079. Had a report that the engine got installed upside down, so that's not good. We got one around at the 17. SR5 pole sitter around here down the back straightaway. Keeps the car going straight. How did he do that? We stay green. Oh, no. Now he's going to slide. That was spectacular. Greg Lovell now with the lead, but let's get you a replay of what happens here because, man, watch this driving. Out of SR5 in the 7. Didn't hit anything. Oh, my God. What a spectacular piece of driving. Gets the car back rolling. Keeps this race Green is now doing burnouts in the grass. See, the Buick of Greg Lovell has taken the lead. Before we cut away to the replay. Comes Rick Speed on the bottom, that red Budweiser car, once again. Folks, I still don't know how the 17 was able to save that car. He's now down in the pits. So Speed has the lead, outside line, led by Lovell. Going to be able to get some momentum rolling back here through the tri-oval. Inside line will surge ahead for a moment. That lap very close at the front of the field. We'll see who had it here in a second when that pylon updates. Oh, they were tied. They were literally tied. They're both the leader, according to the pylon. So too close to call. It's the first caution of the night going to be out here. Working lap 18. Feeling that might involve the 17. Oh, he blew up. Get you the replay. The night goes from bad to worse. That'll be your first car out of this race. The field going to have an opportunity to come down pit lane here. We're going to take a quick second to see if we can't. So 88 car. Again, folks, working our first caution of the night. All the leaders going to come down pit lane. Welcome in, Steve. Steve Rubino in chat. Obo Racing. Hope you're having a good Saturday. Hope everyone out there is having a good Saturday. I'm Joe Twansky up here in the booth. JTN's coverage of the Openspeedway Talladega 400. Working our first caution of the night after the 17. Our pole sitter, SR5, lost a motor. That car, unfortunately, out of this race. The running order going to stay virtually the same. Off of pit lane. Again, working our first caution in the early stages of this race. I'm gonna try to get you this 088 car real quick at home. In case we might make your screens little bit nicer. Get Greg involved. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything. You never know. Sometimes, folks at home, it is when we do stuff like this, it breaks everything. So, lucky for us, it was an early first caution. So, I'm gonna keep things okay for us. Just give our timing and scoring a little bit of a chance to update here. Now you can see the 088. Again, that timing and scoring going to be off here for a lap or so. There we go. Be updated. Uh-oh. Go. Instead of Fox and NBC having their commercials, we just show you all our technical difficulties live on air. That's the JTN way, as always. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in this afternoon. Know you have a lot of entertainment options out there. Glad you're choosing us here on JTN. I'm JoeTowNetwork. Make sure if you haven't already, please click that big red subscribe button. When you subscribe, it does help support us so much here on JTN as we continue to try to build this brand, continue to help build this community, keep this community alive, because we love it so much here at NR 2003. Also, again, if you can hit that like button, it's free. It is the best way to help support us here on JTN, is to make sure you're clicking like on the video. That helps kind of put these things out into the algorithm a little bit more. It gets more folks watching, and the more folks we can get watching, we can continue to build the brand, build the fan base, and hopefully continue to help these leagues continue to build their numbers as well. So, we love this game, or we love this sim. We love NR 2003, and always such a pleasure to do big events like this, the Openspeedway Talladega 400. And again, folks, cannot thank you enough. See a bunch of those likes kind of coming in here too. So, again, if you feel so inclined, it is seriously a big help to click the like button. I cannot stress that enough. Clicking like, if you can share the videos too, that's always a big help. Which, it's a good reminder, too. If you click the subscribe button, you click the bell icon, you'll be notified when we go live. And guess what? We're going live later on tonight, 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time, from the Michigan International Speedway, the USRL Cup Series regular season finale, from our home here at JTN in Brooklyn, Michigan, at MIS. I was actually there in person earlier today, so track was looking good, tip-top shape for all the drivers there in the USRL. Then it's the Fast Renegade Cup Series tomorrow night, right back here at Talladega. Coverage kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, Maverick Night in America, Tuesday nights. We'll be at Richmond this week. Coverage kicking off at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races, much more, of course, live right here only on JTN. As we get ready to go back green flag racing, 16 cars of our 17 starters left. You see them on the left-hand side of your screen on the pylon. They're going to be led back to green by Speed in the 008. Rick Speed, that is. Brett Faulkner in second. Rick Becker, Jim Williams, and Dave Davis, your top five. Then it's Ryan DeHart, DVD, Ralph LeBlanc, the 13 of Clifford Shaw, and the 42 of Legend. Simple as that. Getting ready to go back. Green flag racing coming to lap 23 of 150 here from the Talladega Superspeedway. Chevrolet Corvette pace car is in. Field at the ready. With speed and control. I mean, you didn't think this was a good race. You got a guy named Speed with the lead. Rick Speed, that is. Into the restart zone. And back away we go. Green flags back out here at Talladega. Already Brad Faulkner in the number 24 going to dive to the inside, going down into turn 1, trying to retake the lead in that 24. Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet does it with ease. A couple fan favorite paint schemes at the front of the field. And one of the newer fan favorite, Chase Elliott, on the car. The 24 of Faulkner goes to the lead, but here comes the 070 Rick Becker. He'll go to the point here down the back straightaway. Third different leader here on our opening lap of the restart. Faulkner dropping to the back there, the 24. You see Rick Speed in the 8 gets to the inside of the 50 car of Ryan DeHart. As the top 5 are broken away, top 6 are single file, and then to make up for it, we're 3 wide for 7th. 50 car of DeHart gonna drop back here on the outside. Rocket in the 22, that Bacardi car behind. Got Bacardi and Jack Daniels back here, just outside the top 10. Could make for a crazy one. Let me tell you, it makes for a crazy night. As Jim Williams is your leader here off of turn number 4, coming back to the line. DVD in the number 12 going to drop to the inside, tries to look to get by the Budweiser Chevrolet of Speed. Going to be able to do so. Now going to look for the lead coming to the line. 12 on the bottom, 7 on the outside. They'll be side by side through turns 1 and 2 and move DVD back to the point. He's clear of Williams in the 7. Update on the 079 about, sir. Some big old crewman on the 079 managed to lift up the engine by himself and flip it over. If he can't win this thing, he's out of excuses, says fan Jeff Gordon 24 JG. Well, that is some insider knowledge right there. So hopefully that 079, he's out of excuses if he doesn't win this thing. So we'll have to see if he's making any at the end of the night. Or into the afternoon, I guess, beginning of the night. Side-by-side racing for the lead here down the back straightaway at Talladega. It's the number 24, Brad Faulkner on the inside, the 12 of DVD on the outside. 42 of Legend, 7 of Williams, second cars in line respectively, inside-outside. They're at that point in the race, too, where they're just trying to figure it out. Gotta find out who you want to push. You gotta find out how hard you can push them as well. It's a big sticking point that often gets lost in these super speedway races, is finding that edge of how hard you can push that car in front of you. It's different for every driver. You know, some drivers might be a little more accustomed to getting good pushes from behind, whilst other drivers might be a little more weary of those really strong pushes, especially on corner exit when the car starts to unload. Make that car feel really, really light, and then getting a bump from the back is not a good feeling when you're already feeling a little lightheaded. But it's always an interesting little nugget to see which cars are willing to be pushed, which cars can push, too. That's another kind of... Super speedway racing has a bad rap for being something where it's no skill, it's all luck. There is a lot of skill. You make your own luck, especially here on these super speedways. So again, it's just something to kind of watch here as we go through these races each and every week. To kind of wait and see and watch and see which drivers are the ones that can push, which drivers are the ones that are able to hold a push. But this is the first time tonight that we've really seen sustained side-by-side racing for the lead. We saw a lot of guy gets out in front, he has to jump to the outside line. Guy gets out in front, he has to jump to the outside line. Starting to even see a third line form up on the outside, led by Rocket. 22 and 00 in that lane. Got the 50 and 84 in tow as well. So they got 4 cars up there. 4 cars in the middle, and the majority of the cars now in the inside. Let's make it 5 on the outside. And this is really going to start to dissipate those numbers and might start to alleviate some of the side-by-side racing we've seen. As the inside now definitively has the numbers advantage, and Faulkner in the 24 going to go out in front and gets ahead of the 12 of DVD for the first time in a few laps. Fact of the hour. That is amazing. Safa saying hello, hello. And our fun fact of the hour brought to you by fan JG24 in chat. A few years ago, an inebriated man in the infield was arrested for attempting to cut down a power pole for firewood. That's your fun fact of the hour. Brought to you by fan JG24 in chat. We're 4 wide here through the center of the field. That's Balser in that bright green car to the inside of Faulkner. The inside and outside line change. They got things sorted out, but boy, howdy, that got really tight there through the corner. Like these drivers going to start to figure things out and maybe calm it down a little bit. Any Carroll rooting on the number 21 of Randy Waugh. And he, of course, won the Bomb Squad Racing Truck Series event on Wednesday night. It was live here on J10. You can go check that back out, either on Twitch or here on YouTube. Folks, the racing this afternoon has been exquisite. 34 coming to 35 lap. Coming to lap 35 here. Starting to see some cars get a little shaky here. Handling start to go away about 15 laps into a run. Thank you, Denny. I appreciate it. We try. Still 3 wide here at the center of the pack. Randy Waugh has gone to the lead at the front. Sometimes it just doesn't feel like it's worth it to start telling you everybody that gets to the front. But that Alabama Crimson Tide, those colors know a thing or two about being number 1. Will he be number 1 at the end of the night? We have to wait and see. Melser in the 079 now to the outside of Randy Waugh. Gets a good push from Jim Williams. They're side by side for the lead. They're 3 wide further back. That's the 22 of Rocket stuck in the middle. Now Randy Waugh gonna get pushed into the sucker hole, as DW would like to say. Nate Balser takes the lead with some authority on the outside line. That outside line now having the numbers advantage, but the inside line led by Rick Becker gonna get propelled at least up to second with help from the 13 of Shaw Jr. All 16 cars of our 17 that are left. In this lead pack within a second of each other. Rodney Sullivan's last year, a paint scheme I made came to life and had its actual debut in the Xfinity Series race at Talladega from NR 2003. Rodney, what car was that? Stephen Ward say, this is great, way better than iRacing. As you see, this 00 Kelly Causey Prisco Buick going to the lead here on the bottom. Elster on the outside, now starting to face a challenge as there's only 6 cars in that outer line and the majority now on the bottom. That's how it always seems to go, Rodney. But that's amazing. That is awesome. Rodney does a lot of really good work. You can see a couple of them here in this field. I think he said 00 and the 22. Kelly Causey right now leading the way out of those cars that Rodney painted up. But Rodney does a great job. You can... I don't know if you've got a design page on Facebook, Rodney, but feel free to drop the name there in chat of it. Self-promotion is more than welcome here on JTM when it comes to things and kind of getting designers and online leagues promoted. Especially know that it's a lot of work to paint some of these cars, and Rodney does a lot of them. So, congratulations on that accomplishment, buddy, and I hope you get a bunch of more. 40 laps in the book here from Talladega. We're side by side for the lead. Nate Valser on the outside. Kelly Causey in the 00 on the inside. We're side by side like this for a couple laps now. As always, folks, so make sure if you haven't already, please leave a like on the video and subscribe. Again, doing all those things helps support us so much here on JTN. We've been hovering around 20 or so here throughout this broadcast. So again, cannot thank you enough. Love to see those likes get up there in the 20s too before we're done with the show today. So heck, if you got a couple of YouTube accounts, go on both of them and click the like button. It'd be more than appreciated. And again, as always, cannot thank you enough for spending some time here on a Saturday afternoon with us on JTN. Inside line starting to deteriorate. They're going to be 3 wide, and Dave Davis in the 98 getting shuffled out of that outside line, getting shuffled to the way outside line as the 12 of DVD tried to get out there, and now things are getting splintered on the inside. DVD going to try to push Kelly Causey. The top 3 are now clear, but here comes Faulkner in the 24 to the inside of Jim Williams for second. Going to be looking for the lead with the momentum from the draft and hopefully getting a better shove from Causey in the 00. Inside line has helped more immediately. Faulkner, that is, in the 24. We'll see if they get lined back up. The inside line once again has the numbers. Closing in on a third of the way through this one from Talladega. We had the one caution for the 17 of SR5, losing a motor down the back straightaway around, I believe it was lap 17 or 18 after a big save. A thrilling save from the 17. Bill Huntsberry wishing he was out there on track. Dale, hope you're feeling better on the mend. Sending our well wishes to you. "24 folks currently watching. Again, cannot thank you enough for tuning in. Get ready to approach the mid portion of this race. Bobby Carroll cheering on Craig Lovell in the 088. Right now, 4th car in line on the outside, driving that Texaco on the hood, the Mustang. Balser in the 079 has just done a really good job of leading this outside line, has been able to hold steady there. Faulkner in the 24 hasn't been able to kind of get these get to the lead and be able to kind of edge out in front of the 079 car. A lot has to be said, too, about the 7 of Jim Williams giving a good push to the 079. Thank you, Talk Nation TV. Make sure you go check them out, too. They do a lot of great broadcasting work for with Talladega Nights. In our 2003, yeah, this Aero 88 mod, it looks amazing. You can take it anywhere. It would probably look fantastic. Oh, we got a crash! 088 Craig Lovell involved. 22 Rocket. 98 of Dave Davis flipping up and over onto the top of the 13 of Shaw Jr. Caution going to be out for the second time here tonight as a bump goes wrong through the tri-oval. One car up in smokes. It's the 98. And we have our second caution of the afternoon here, working lap 49. See where this thing starts. Seven goes around. 98 and 80 for Ralph LeBlanc. That was a nasty hit for the 84. My goodness. Rodney, I will get you that info because I am not certain. Looks like it's Lovell trying to get to the inside of the 7 of Williams. 7 car drifted up maybe a little too high. Lovell thought there was more room there, and I think the 7's going to come down through the tri-oval. Maybe not aware that the 088's there. Honestly, the 84 takes one of the worst hits. The 98 rolls. Up and onto. Yeah, just threw the thumbtacks out, you know? Had a bunch of them in a burlap sack, a la Mankind. More pushed out view of what we saw here on working our second caution of the night. We got an onboard shot with the 84. We're gonna go on board with Ralph here. Up on top of the 84 Haviland Ford. It's like the 98. A nasty hit there. 98 make contact with the 50 of Ryan DeHart. I think he does. Yeah, 50 checks up. 98 just couldn't check up in time. These cars, they like to try to take off, and then he's rolling. He rolls on top of the 42 of Legend. That could have been dangerous. You see those cars really sturdy. Able to hold up to a whole nother car landing on top of them. Honestly, I don't think as bad as things could be. 98's still out there. Looks like the 84. We go back live. His motor's expired there on Ralph's Ford. Yeah, I would say moderate too, Rodney. I can get you the actual answer here. Yes, it is moderate. The moderate damage here this afternoon. This race should keep as many of these cars competitive as possible. I believe we lost the 98, or is he just... There he is. The Davis has lost a lap. But the only car lap down, and we've seen this whole field kind of stick together throughout this race. He actually now scored back on the lead lap. So, we work our second caution of the night, folks, while we got a minute. We got some great races coming up here on JTN. Later on this evening, it's the USORL Cup Series from the Michigan International Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Then, tomorrow night, April the 23rd, it's the Fast Renegade Cup Series right back here at Talladega. Coverage kicking off at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And the High Voltage Racing League Maverick Cup Series, Maverick Night in America, from the Richmond Raceway, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Of course, those races and much, much more are going to be live right here only on JTN, presented by our friends at SchemeHaven.com. Go check them out. Real life is always stranger than fiction. Alabama 21 or Randy Waugh going to be out in front here. Just over that third of the way through here. Pace car lights are out. We're going to go back green. Randy Waugh with the lead. DVD there in second. Becker, Brett Faulkner, Clifford Shaw Jr., Dave Davis, Ryan DeHart, Nate Balser, Ralph LeBlanc, and Rick Speed, your top 10. That's not right. Ralph actually back in 10th. For this restart, not 9th. I flipped. Just more proof that this should. You're gonna make me lose it up here. I don't think we want that. I don't think you want your commentator to lose it. Flipping the engine again on the 079. So he has an excuse again? Should the car not run well? That the... Well, nonetheless, getting ready to go back. Green flag racing. Randy Waugh with control here for the restart. Coming back to lap 53 of 150. Green flag. We're back underway. One car already out of line towards the back. It was Ralph LeBlanc. There's going to be a wait-and-see moment for that 84 team to see how much damage they have there. Becker in the 070 going to fall back a couple spots here on the restart. Faulkner and Shaw going to get on by in the 24 and 13 respectively, although here comes Speed in the 008. You have a 008 and an 088. Randy Wash shuffled out of the way. DVD goes back to the lead. Faulkner there in second. Randy Waugh third. Becker in the 070. Then it's side by side between Shaw and Speed for the last spot inside the top 5. Three wide further back, 2 cars stuck in the middle. It's DVD and Valser. DVD goes to the back here. He's shuffled out of line. Brad Faulkner leads that one. See the 50 or 500 rather, that blue car there on the bottom is the 500 of Dudley Smith, the crunch car. Greg Lovell now all by himself way up the track. He'll have to drop to the back of this pack and try to regroup. Ralph LeBlanc and Dave Davis, an update on those two who had the engines look to expire. They've still got power, but they're almost half a lap already behind the leaders. At least they have each other. As Randy Waugh looking for the lead here on the 21. He'll get it here through turns 1 and 2. Powers on by Brad Faulkner. Now he'll look to keep that Alabama car in front of the Green Bay Packers mobile. Rick Becker's Becker gave him a little bit of a bump. That 21 car got a little uneasy down the back straightaway, but rather be uneasy down the back than down the front. Field enters the tri-oval. Top 4 are now single file. Totally legal in Canada, though. Rick Becker gets to the inside. Randy Waugh tried to jump back in line. That was not going to work and almost played out disastrously. He'll have to fall back to the front bumper of the 24. Brad Faulkner. They're once again side by side for the lead. Dudley Smith goes to the point. He's got one in the wall. It's the 070 of Becker. He's going to lose a lot of speed here. Going to have to quickly duck down in line to make sure he doesn't lose the draft. Should be okay, but you never know. They're slicing and dicing here for the lead. Jim Williams drops to the inside. of Smith in the 500. Could really go for a crunch bar right now. After seeing that car on that track. As they're going to be coming up on lap traffic, things might get a little hairy. Trying to navigate around the 84 or the 084, excuse me. I've been saying 84 all night. And the 98. Now, Rocket trying to take the lead. DVD, though, on the outside. Going to try to prevent that. Got Nate Balancer in the 079. Faulkner in the 24. Lap traffic going to stay high. LeBlanc in the 084, the 98 of Davis. Skittles are my favorites, Steven, so I would, Skittles are very dangerous in my house, too, because I can eat one of those big party-sized pack of Skittles. And that is not good. That is not a good thing to do. So Rocket led the last lap. Faulkner going to lead this one. See, and that's a good idea, too. If you throw him out the window net, I would get distracted. If you threw him next to the wall, I'd run into the wall. Speed going to look to the bottom here in the number 8. And talked about it, fan favorite paint schemes. One's a Chase Elliott on the outside, one's Dale Jr. As the 8 car is able to take the lead, and here comes our buddy Greg Lovell in the 088. All of the Mustang. It's a Thunderbird. On the front, but it looks like Mustang lights on the back, unless Thunderbird had those lights and I'm just silly. Which is a high probability that I'm just silly. Greg Lovell to the point for the first time in a while. If he was in the lead earlier before we got that paint scheme loaded up. Lovell doing a good job right now leading this middle lane. He's able to lead the outside lane up a little bit. We're staying pretty loyal to the back of that 088. .24 edges ahead here through turns 1 and 2. Now the momentum going to carry this outside line down the back straightaway. They'll have a run. Red Faulkner doing a really good job. One of the cars that's been able to lead the outside line, even when the numbers are a little thin there, but now the inside going to start to prevail. Well, we're going to inch ahead here down the back straightaway. And he'll take the lead going down into the tri-oval. So Greg Lovell in first. Randy Waugh going to have second here. It's side-by-side for third between Williams and Faulkner. And then side-by-side for fifth between DVD and Rocket. Coming up on lap traffic once again, Ralph LeBlanc and Dave Davis. Also lost the 42, a legend, out of this race. Failed to mention that up here in the booth, but the 42 has retired. Uh-oh. Greg Lovell just... He is blinking out. Inside line going to start to have to scatter. He has to come up the track here going into the corner. He'll lose 2 spots in line. But now as the internet comes back, will the 088 make a charge? That is scary, folks. That is terrifying. When the car leading your line is all of a sudden gone, that is not a good feeling. Because you do not know where he's going to reappear. Probably in another life. I got the question in chat. Are you wanting to be a professional sports broadcaster? I wish. I'm graduating from university next weekend with a degree in mechanical engineering, so I will be a design engineer. But yeah, broadcasting's always kind of been a fun thing, and didn't apply to go to school for that. So picked this up during COVID, and now here we are 3 years later. It's a pretty, I'd say, successful little channel we got here going on JTN. Working with some of the best leagues in NR 2003 with broadcasting every week. So, yeah, it'd be fun. I need to train my brain to focus a lot more. It'd be fun nonetheless. Saw Greg Lovell able to retake the lead here this last time through turns 1 and 2. Thank you, I appreciate it. Don't compliment me too much or else my head won't fit through the doorway. Yeah, Rodney, I saw that. I just saw the... I'd had it. I'm keeping tabs on it, but I turned it off because I don't want to get too enthralled with what they got going on there on the real Talladega. I'm keeping my eyes tuned in here to the virtual Talladega. A little bit of a bump there from the 00 to the back of the 079. He'll have to lay off a little bit. Balser in that green car. Been up and down the pylon here this afternoon. Steven, we haven't gotten them yet tonight, so I'm not too sure about what fuel mileage looks like. I also heard rumblings that there might be a halfway caution, so... maybe a while. I know they can get about 50 on a tank on 1X. Forgot to see if it's 2X. So if it's 2X, it's probably about, they can go about 20 to 25 laps, so they're kind of closing in on that window. If it's 1X, they've still got another 20 to 25 laps. They're still side by side here, battling for the lead down the back straightaway. Greg Lovell with control, help from Randy Waugh. Tires might be an issue too. Yeah. Often here, for maybe some of the folks out there that aren't familiar, I know we got a lot of familiar folks with how the sim works. Tire wear on these super speedways, just like in real life, isn't normally an issue. With certain mods and certain tracks, it does become an issue. We've seen these cars, and I think that's kind of what caused that last wreck we saw. Or no, the last wreck we saw was not because of handling, but we've seen these cars, you can tell the handling's starting to go away. These guys aren't making really aggressive, sudden moves out there. They're being a little more progressive with their moves. They're making them a little bit slower, maybe. So, you know, things are... things are definitely... You worry about the tire wear, you're most likely going to have to pit for tires, which is it's a big time loss. You don't want to have to take tires. You don't have to. But if tire wear is enough, these drivers having to take tires on a super speedway just adds that extra little wrinkle that makes this race exciting. This is fixed setup. Yeah. Yep, fixed setup. Coming up on lap traffic again, so it takes us about 10 laps to get back through to these guys. Significantly off the pace, especially because they're together, but 22 of Rocket has taken the lead once again. Alcer there in second. Kelly Causey going to inch ahead for third. Greg Lovell there in fourth, and DVD rounding out your top five. DVD, your outside pole sitter. Working set lap 75 this time. We'll come to the line. Kelly Causey in the lead. Rocket on the bottom. Good push from the 088. 75 complete. Just past halfway now. Greg Lovell going to drop out of line there on the 088. 10 laps short to make it to 100. Okay. 10 laps short of making it to the competition caution. I appreciate it, Steven. It's going to be interesting if we get to those green flag pit stops, how they play out. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're 3 wide for second. Let's go 3 wide for third while we're at it, too. We're 4 wide for third. Screw that. So we're getting crazy at the front. My goodness. Sometimes you just gotta laugh at the racing you see, folks. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. I have no idea how they do it. No clue. No clue how they do it. Faulkner edging ahead here down the back straightaway, though. Rocket in the 22 in the outer line, the Bacardi car. Kind of push ahead. Great racing indeed, Magoo. This has been some of the best racing. Ricky was supposed to be on the call for this one, but he's been he's been having car troubles, so had to deal with that in life. But we'll have Joseph Weaver and Davey Hazard. I think is tentatively the plan on the call for later on tonight with myself from Michigan, as we're gonna get close there for the lead. So again, as always, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in here to JTN this afternoon. Open Speedway, cannot thank Ralph LeBlanc for reaching out, and cannot thank him enough, the whole admin team enough, for giving us the honor of calling one of these big races. You know, it has been a tough couple weeks here for the guys at Open Speedway. So again, just want to thank them a lot for bringing us into the fold, allowing me to come up here in the booth, talk with you guys at home for a little bit over top of what has been a thrilling race tonight. A lot of great passing, a lot of side-by-side close racing, and folks, they've only had really one of those pesky yellow flags, so they've done a great job putting on some of the best super speedway racing. If you want to get in on the action, you can head on over to Openspeedway.net. We also have it linked down in the video description below, where you can find out more. Got the rule book, how to join right there on their website. Again, that's openspeedway.net. Got it linked down in the video description below. So we're 3 wide for the lead off of 2. I don't know how you can be 3 wide for the lead lap after lap after lap. I would get frustrated personally, folks. I don't get behind the wheel as often anymore, but I would be frustrated as all heck. They are still 3 wide for the lead. This is one of those tricky situations to be in, as Faulkner are going to kind of squeak ahead of these 3 behind him, as they'll be 3 wide for second. He'll have his pick of lane. I think he's going to try to stay with that bottom one, but man, it can be so difficult to race like that lap after lap after lap, because this track is plenty wide, but as you can see, that outside line, they're not too keen on getting right up next to that wall. That inside line, they're not too keen on being a little bit further up the racetrack, as now the top two on the inside got to squeak ahead. Becker in the 070, as well as Faulkner in the 24, as Becker actually going to try to drift up into that middle line in front of Rocket. Have to be careful. DVD makes a cut to the bottom. Had a chance to get to the inside of the 070. Thought better of it. As the inside line slowly starts to inch away from its two competitors there to its outside. And Steven, that is a very good point. All the guys here racing together night after night after night. And folks at home, that's sometimes when you join a new league, that can be a challenging thing to get over because everyone already knows everyone and you're the new person. But I promise you, if you get involved in leagues like Openspeedway or any of the guys we show here on JT, you get involved and you race and you're there week after week after week, it becomes easier. You learn the tendencies. As the 079 had some issues, almost had a big crash there on exit the tri-oval, but we're okay. But as you get involved with the league, you race week after week after week, you learn the tendencies of your fellow competitors. And as you learn the tendencies of your fellow competitors, you can A, exploit them, but also B, it makes you feel a lot more comfortable in racing like this. It's oftentimes hard to race with folks, and special events like this sometimes can be a big catalyst for that, racing with people that you're not comfortable with or you're not used to, and that can either be a good thing, and it's also always a very challenging thing. So, of course, it's great to see here at Openspeedway. And again, we talk about how a lot of our leagues are very, very close-knit communities, and again, Openspeedway, one of those places that does exemplify that. About 5 laps away from green flag pit stops, what we have been told. So we'll start to see if these drivers try to single out. It's going to make the end of this race to lap 100 very interesting. Also, do you want to pit with other drivers? How hard do you push the issue trying to get to pit lane? These are all questions we have to ask in these moments. Importantly, too, maybe you could afford to make a mistake here because you know a caution's coming up. The cars, there's 2 cars left on the racetrack that are a lap down, but they're 4 laps down, so you can technically afford to lose a lap. You'd most likely be the recipient of our lucky dog here. So maybe you push the issue to try and gain a little bit of track position here before the competition caution. It's something to think about for these drivers. Maybe you get a little aggressive. I don't know. I don't want to put bad thoughts in anyone's heads, but I am, as the TV guy. TV guy, it's kind of my job. As now we're getting single file out, and that's your biggest indicator, folks, that we have pit stops coming. And here we go. Faulkner leads Williams and Shaw Jr. onto pit lane. Rest of the field staying out another lap here. They're led by Rocket now in the 22. Coming up on lap traffic again. here in the O-sides. We got one blowing up. It's LeBlanc in the 84. Folks, this could bring out a caution. These drivers, though, going to get to pit lane. The 84 staying out on track. This is going to shake things up. If the funny flag comes out, it doesn't just yet. Greg Lovell now leading. Everyone getting to pit lane A-OK. Very impressed by the green flag pit stop prowess. The rest of these leaders going to be pitting this time by. Here comes Lovell. Causey as well. Smith in the 500. Andy Wall lost a little bit of time. He's down pit lane in the 13, coming back down. We talked about it. You can't make a mistake. You can probably afford to make one mistake. Looks to have made one. Up to speed already. It's Faulkner in the 24 and Williams in the 7. They're tandemed here. They're going to get it by speed in the 008. So now we ride this thing out till competition caution. And one guy that is a little scared about that is Shaw here in the 13 because the leaders are moving. Already a lap down is this Jack Daniels car. Has to be careful and has to get up to speed and has to hope that the 500 of Smith, who is actually still scored as the leader. We'll see how that cycles out here, because if he's the leader, it doesn't even matter. But yeah, it will only just be the lap down. Folks, what am I talking about? I don't know. Find out more at 8. Alright, Dudley Smith, your leader in the Crunch car. Up to speed. Got a quad here, the 24, 079, 7, and 8. They're coming up on the 13 of Shaw. They'll get around him here. So now Shaw has to hope that they don't catch Becker and Waugh. We're just up the road. And that 13 needs to get by those cars, because now it's going to become a competition for the lucky dog. As you got 5 cars that of our leaders together. And then Lovell's going to be leading a second train of 3. Split strategies there on pit lane. Again, knowing you have that halfway break. And Faulkner likes what he's seeing in his rear view. These drivers, they're staying in line. We're working together. We're staying nice and orderly. What happened to the 00? That is a good question. What happened to the 00? Let's see if we can't find him. Did he just retire? Yeah, he just retired. No indication, Rodney. Looks like he just decided to retire. I don't have a replay of a wreck or anything to tell me why. Rick Becker has now gone a lap down. Randy Wall will be the next one on the hit list for Faulkner in the 24. As we close in on our competition caution. With 24 in the lead, 079, 7, and 008. Randy Wall gonna try to be a little slick there. He'll get in line. And now we'll hope to get up to speed. He'll be trying to stay ahead of the 070 of Becker for that lucky dog position. But you're going to want to pit here under caution, too, because that should get you to the end of this race on lap 150. And Faulkner, your leader, 2 laps left here. Well, 2 laps left, or we get to the get to the lap 100, our 2/3 mark in this race. So green flag pit stops. These 4 leaders here, they're your winners after it. The 24, the 079, the 7, and the 8. 008. Excuse me. They're your winners out of these green flag pit stops. They executed well. They got out on track with a partner, and they got up to speed and got together quick. You know, your losers, unfortunately, are Shaw in the 13, Becker, and Wah. They all go a lap down through this cycle. And Wah right now in position to take that lucky dog. They're coming up on DVD. It's about a straightaway ahead. I don't think they'll be able to catch him. You see Williams jumping out of line in the 7. Speed does not go with him as the caution's out. So there's your, I believe this is your halfway. Yes, it is. So that's your your competition caution. I guess it's not halfway. So we're well over halfway in this race. But competition caution is out. We'll get the field back formed up. But these 4, they were able to execute the pit stops. They're going to have track position here for the come make what could be the final stop of the night. That'll get you to the end of this race. Or we might just be, we're probably going to be just outside of it, actually. I think we can go about, I don't know. We'll be close. We'll be close. It's going to be something to watch, because those 4 did such a good job here this first time. If they have to go again, those, I'm going to tell you right now, 24, 079, 7, and 008, those are your favorites. Execution, it's the biggest factor in doing well at any track we go to. Seafield coming down pit lane. All the cars left on the lead lap. 21, 070, and 13 having to stay out. Going to be first out of his box. Everyone gets off pit lane. So while we're working this competition caution here, step away real quick. And let's get a word from our friends with Auto Sim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear because Auto Sim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through Auto Sim 2's Sim mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. And back here on JTN, working lap 101 of 150. Again, AutoSim 2 is now available on the Steam store for $9.99. Go check it out. And AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. One coming down to top off. Make sure we have as much fuel packed into the fuel cell. Run to the finish of this race that has seen some amazing action. Weaver, you know I can't pick who's gonna win. You know that's just asking for one of these guys to have some horrible luck here at the end. I think the fans are gonna win, though. If someone's gonna win, it's the fans. This is the Openspeedway Talladega 400 on JTN. And folks, if you haven't already, make sure you click like on the video and subscribe. And doing so does help support us so much here on JTN. Those cars trapped a lap down. Actually, DVDs just stays out to try to take the lead. Or will take the lead here for the restart. Keeps the 070 a lap down. Didn't think Becker's too pleased with that. I know I would be. Right, Weaver, since the fans always win, I know that's a safe bet. I like safe bets. So we'll come back to green with DVD in the lead. Red Faulkner in second, Nate Valser. Jim Williams and Rick Speed, your top 5. Then it's Rocket, Greg Lovell. Shaw in the junior in the 13, a lap down. Then it's the 50, Ryan DeHart. The 500, Dudley Smith, and the 21 of Randy Waugh. Chevrolet Corvette pace car going to come down the pit lane and give way to DVD in the number 12 here. Your leader coming back to the restart, coming to lap 104 of 150. Pace car is into the restart zone. And back away we go. Green flag once again here from Talladega. You're getting a little risky here. Lap traffic on the bottom. 070 and 13. They're going to be battling for the lucky dog here. As we got contact already. Car around. It's Rocket in the 22. Around down the back straightaways. Rick Speed in the 008 also goes around. Caution is back out here. On lap 104. 8 car just comes up. Let's go back. Might have been some contact with the 13. Yeah, it was contact with the 13. Is that Budweiser 008? Go on board with Lovell in this 088. Gets a little smushed there. The DVD looks pretty smart staying out, getting track position. I have to think all these drivers, once again, are going to come back down pit lane, top off on fuel. I would, especially if I don't have track position. Rick Becker going to get back on the lead lap by virtue of the lucky dog in the first car lap down. Things get a little tight off of pit road. Faulkner able to take the lead. Valser there in second. DVD. Randy Waugh. Williams, your top 5 off of pit road, as it looks like the 24 actually speeding on pit lane. So, a big mistake for the Napa Chevrolet. Brad Faulkner. Things are getting shook up. Yeah, 24 speeding, that's going to be interesting because Brad has been really good here in these last 20 or so laps. Talked about the execution on pit lane to get the lead, coming to competition caution for the group led by the 24. Yeah. Also, yeah, Greg Lovell having a rough go of it. Tis but a flesh wound. I think he's looking a little bit better though. A little bit better than what you're quoting there. I don't think it's as catastrophic. The 24 stays out. I believe he'll still have to start at the back, though. Not really gonna... Won't really help him too much. Nate Balser first off pit road. Car's gonna come back down pit lane. So we are why you're seeing this at home. Why you're seeing this at home is we are literally right there on the window. So these cars, they're gonna pit every single chance they get here under this caution, and they are gonna be in fuel save mode, trying to make it to the end. It'll be close, because again, that window is about 40 or so laps, probably closer to 38. It also goes to say that you want to take the least amount of fuel if you do have to make a pit stop as possible. You don't want to take any tires, so you can pit here. You keep putting a splash of fuel in it every time. You know, this track's pretty big. Trying to make sure you can take the least amount of fuel as humanly possible when we go back green flag racing. So Becker gonna be really marked 2 laps down. Don't know why that is. Scoring is weird. Balser in the O79, your race leader here, coming to the restart. See if timing and scoring gets updated. As the cars come around. An interesting restart to come here. As we're going to get ready to play the wait-and-see game on if these drivers can make it to the end on their 76 racing fuel. All right, folks, this is what you want to see. Green flag racing action in the late stages at Talladega. As the 075 or 79 and 8 Valls are going to lead us back to green. That second green car, 070, Rick Becker, a lap down. We'll see how timing and scoring catches up here as we come back to the restart. That Packers car is out in front of the field. Into the restart zone. And back away we go. Green flag. And we're back on our way here from Talladega. Already packed towards the back. Williams getting chucked out of line by Speed. That Budweiser Chevy gets down to the bottom. Becker going to have to drop to the back of the pack here. Was the lucky dog. It's out of line now in that 070. He'll drop to the back of this field as Elser with help from Rocket on the outside, but here comes Speed on the bottom in the 8. Can the 079 drop down in front? He stays loyal to the 22. Those cars have worked so well together here throughout this race. And Rick Speed going to go to the lead here with help from DVD in the 12 car. So Speed to the lead. In the 008. Randy Watt now going to try to go to the point in the 21 there on the bottom. Don't look now. Here comes the 24. It only took him a lap or so. Yeah, the field is shorter. Only 12 cars of our 17 starters left. Doesn't mean it still ain't fun to go from the back to the front. As Faulkner tries to push the 21 of Randy Watt back to the point. 21 trying to take the lead. You see leading that inside line up off the yellow line. Have to be mindful of that. Also there on the outside of the 079, though. Help from Rocket in the 22. Jim Williams and Greg Lovell. They'll be in front there entering the corner. Inside line surges back. Shortest way around the racetrack, of course. But the outside going to have the momentum off of turn number 4. We get ready to enter the tri-oval. Outside clear by a car. Inside surges back. Elser has to worry about the 21 of Randy Waugh to his inside. Here going down into turn 1. Can the 21 make another charge? Have to stay tucked up. Denny, amen to that. We have seen the fast cars. They have been able to push and push and be pushed and push again. As you see, the 22 doing an excellent job of pushing the 079 here down the back straightaway. A really good illustration of that from that camera angle. He is all over the back bumper of that bright green car on the outside line. As now the inside tries to surge ahead and has a little more momentum. The numbers advantage still to the outside. 6 versus 5. We have 12 left. Outside probably needs to have at least a car, if not 2, advantage. As you see the 500 drop to the bottom. Towards the back. Rick Becker and the 070 now drop into the back as well, so that's really where these runs will start to form, and Randy Waugh now will have a numbers advantage once the 070 catches the back of the 13. else are there in the 079. Doing a great job of kind of trying to keep this line in check behind him. But now they're going to start fighting a losing battle, folks, because the numbers advantage is heavily in favor of Randy Waugh as he leads the inside line here off of turn number 2 down the back straightaway. 21 car on the bottom, 079 to the outside. An inside line, the one disadvantage they have is they cannot keep it tucked up on that yellow line until we get down into the brass tacks at the end of this race. You have to, absolutely have to be careful though right now. We're close on fuel. We have that factor playing into this. These drivers, they all just want to lead. They all just want to win. You see more shuffling with the numbers. Outside line now about even with the inside. You got more cars tucked up tight there with 6 together, only 5 on the bottom, but they have a 6th straggler in the 500 of Smith. Now the 070 of Becker drops back to the bottom. Wonder, too, what these cars at the back are doing if they're trying to save a little bit of fuel. Maybe running 3/4 throttle to stretch things out. You want to be close. You want to be safe. But, you know, most importantly, you got to make it to the end of this race first. Calculated racing going on right now. We've seen this all night, side by side by side, up and down the running order. But now more than ever, you're noticing guys, they're getting closer, but they're being very careful about it. They're being very careful about how much they're leaning on the door, how much they're leaning on the bumper in front of them or behind them. Just being oh so careful to make sure that they don't make that catastrophic mistake that not only can take themselves out, but some of their fellow competitors. You never want to be the guy after the race that people are coming to your garage stall, especially if you're not down in victory lane. Still side by side, battling for the lead, keeping things nice and static. At this point in the race, that is a good thing for all of these drivers. You don't want things to start to change when you've gotten kind of set in your ways here in the first 117 laps. I want to take one final opportunity to remind folks at home we got some great races coming up here on JTN, including tonight's USORL Cup Series regular season finale from the Michigan International Speedway. Coverage kicking off at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time. And tomorrow night's Fast Renegade Cup Series from it right back here at Talladega, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And the High Voltage Racing League Maverick Cup Series from Richmond on Tuesday, April 25th at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Those races and much, much more, of course, going to be live right here only on JTN. Don't miss out on that race later on tonight. Love to see folks tuning into that one. Say hello. But as always, can't thank you enough for tuning in here this afternoon. Open Speedway Talladega 400. If you want to find out more about Open Speedway, head on over to openspeedway.net. Great resources there to get you set up and racing at Open Speedway. Look, this is Talladega. I think that used to be the tagline for the commercials. This is Talladega. They'd have to put some of this footage in that because they have been side by side here now for laps on end. Neither kind of getting that edge. And if you're the leader of these lines, you're okay with that. You're very much okay with that. You are happy to just ride around here. Run some laps. Be side by side. Be that leader of the line. Be the line leader. Who didn't want to be a line leader in elementary school? But be the line leader and kind of try to stake your claim to control this race. When you're out in front, there's a lot of things you can do. People always like to talk about the aggressive blocks that guys like Brad Keselowski, Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin do, that they do really effectively. And that takes a lot of skill and a lot of reps and a lot of practice, and that's something we haven't seen too much blocking that is here tonight. Be interesting to see if we get down to the end of this thing, if someone makes a decision to maybe block a little bit, maybe throw a move out there that they haven't had the chance to work with just yet, and make that move that helps them win the race. Big moment there for the 13 off of turn 4. 550. This might kind of separate this group a little bit. Those cars back there are going to have to be careful. They're 3 wide. They're losing time. Need to get things figured out back there because they do not want to lose this lead draft. Because then you are hoping that those guys have issues with each other. And you don't necessarily like hoping for the downfall of your fellow competitors. Yeah, if speed in the 008 can tuck up to the 12, I think it might help push that inside line and Randy Watt to the lead. I don't know if they're hesitant to do so or they just haven't been able to do so. Could be a matter too of trying to save some fuel. Again, we want to make it to the end of this race. Gotta make it to the end of this race. Oof, we are getting down to it. Having to be careful, having to hold side by side. You're going to see really aggressive pushes from Rocket in the 22 to the back of the 079, from the 24 of Faulkner to the back of the 21. You're going to start seeing these pushes. They're going to get aggressive. They're going to have to, because you have to start to try to make something work. You can't sit here for these next 26 laps, 25 and a half as we go down the back. You can't sit here. You can't sit here forever. You have to start to make some moves. You have to start moving around. Maybe it's getting out of line. Maybe it's dropping to the back and trying to regroup and find something that works. But this side-by-side starts to get frustrating more than anything. If you're the leaders, you're happy. If you're not, you're a little frustrated because there's nowhere you can go right now. You don't want to leave that guy in front of you out to dry. You don't. You don't need to make one driver mad at you. You need to save some fuel, but at this point, if you can't make it to the end, you're not going to make it to the end, most likely. The strategy's on. The fuel save's on. The pushing's on. The side drafting, for what little it does, is on. See DVD trying to make a move to the inside of the 24. Not enough of a run. Going to have to get back in line. But the pack's starting to stagnate here as the handling has gone away, as the tires have deteriorated. All just part of the games we play. You're starting to see that inside line. They're drifting up a little more than they want to. The outside line having to start to compensate for that. Oh, goody. Again, folks, can't thank you enough for tuning in this afternoon. Openspeedway Talladega 400. Make sure if you haven't already, drop a like on the video and subscribe. Tails, chat, time to take the gloves off and let the big dogs run. That is for sure. You got to start doing something. You can't ride here now. You got to start putting yourself in position, because right now it's either the 21 or the 079, right? It's one of those two guys, because one of them could get hung out to dry on the last lap coming to the end, and it's just going to make the other one win. You're kind of, when you're that leader of the line, when you're the line leader, you're in a very privileged position in one of these races when we're like this. And that's just how these Superspeedway races play out, right? We've seen races where they're single file at this point. We've seen races where they're 3 wide at this point. We've seen everything here on JTN at this point. So, trying to get this pack, if you're any of these drivers that's, you know, third on back, trying to get this pack a little more shuffled up by making some moves, however risky they are, might be advantageous coming down to the last 5 of this thing. But you never know. Let the racing breathe, is what they say. We're letting it breathe. Now, if I had a big red button to push that would tell someone, hey, if you lead this lap, you get $5, that could be some motivation. Time to really start mirror driving. Well, Elser still leading the outside line. And Randy Waugh there on the inside. Clutching starting to go on too at the back. Heard it that time. The cars towards the back, they're probably at about 75% go right now too. Your leaders have to be at 100% go. So the 079 and 21, they're running out of fuel no matter what here at the end of this thing. The 500, the 070, the 008, they might have a little bit to give. They might be able to go a lap or 2 more. That gets them to the end? We'll see. But now the outside line starting to pull away. Got about a 3-car length lead on the inside is Nate Balser in the 079. So top 3 all free and clear. See if any of them elect to drop down to the bottom, or Rocket, Jim Williams in the 7. If those two, Williams not going to have a choice now. Might clip the wall a little bit there. Got level there behind him. Those two maybe elect to drop down and try to find a way around the 079. See the 079 shading down a little bit too there through the tri-oval. But top 3 on the outside now clear. Inside line lost a lot of momentum. Next pit stop will separate them. It will definitely separate them, Denny. We saw it on that first stop. The 24, the 079, 008. I forget who the 4th was. But those 4 cars were able to get about a 10-second lead on the rest. And then you had the guys that made mistakes. Replay pit stops. Everyone hates them. Everyone loves them. They're a fickle thing. Separate the boys from the men is what I think is a Separate the kids from the adults. 17 and a half laps to go as we head down into turn 3 here at Talladega. There goes Rocket to the bottom. Gonna switch it up. Bacardi car. Gonna bring the party to the front. 79 Belser now gonna have a new guy behind him as Randy Waugh gonna elect to try to go up to the middle groove. Help from Faulkner in the 24. They're going to try to get around this 22 car, but now no help behind. Balser of the 079 going to be the guy left out. He'll get in third in the outside line. And now Randy Waugh leading the outside line with the 22 of Rocket on point there on the inside. The 24 stayed rather loyal to the back of the 21, made the move with him to get around the 22. DVD and 12 now behind. You've seen the 12 and that Budweiser car of Rick Speed. We've seen them not as willing to push here. Maybe saving some fuel. Maybe now's the time to start pushing the issue and the car in front of you. With 16 to go here. That's the pace car. See these cars really set into the ground. You're starting to see everyone being a little less sure. Makes you wonder too about what these pit stops, if we get them, will look like. On the edge of making it to the end of this race. Need help on the green flag pit stops. Yep. And you gotta hope you don't leave your help. You can't be Lone Ranger coming down pit road. You also can't make a mistake. Ideally, you're pitting with 3 other cars. We have 3 groups of 4 here, with 12 cars left in the race. So that way, if one car or even 2 make mistakes or get out ahead, you're able to at least have somebody. But Rocket now on the point in the 22, now clear of the outside line, moves up a little bit, has DVD behind him. Sure you have Tonto, yeah? Needs to be 3 or 4. Yeah, I think that's it's ideally in it. And you know, if you're the car that gets way out in front of maybe 2 cars together, maybe you think about dragging that brake a little bit and kind of pulling your car back to those cars behind you. Kind of surging back ahead with help from Brad Faulkner in the 24. Greg Lovell blinking towards the back. That's going to splinter the outside line. DVD on the apron a little bit there. Entry of turn number 3. Rocket now surges back ahead. He'll have the choice to try to jump up into that outside line. DVD kind of jumping up too. Going to have to get back in front of the 008. Budweiser car of speed. Well, baby, we're coming down to the end of this. 10 laps to go here from Talladega. 10 more circuits here. It's still 26 miles, though. So plenty of time. You got a pit stop. You got a lot of things going on. A lot of things that can go wrong, too. 4 laps short, so if you're 4 laps short here, do you pit sooner rather than later? You can pit anytime now. You're probably taking a splash. It's the big shakeup. I would say you're taking a splash. You're not taking any tires, so you cannot smoke them coming to pit lane. You want to keep them underneath you. You just have to be a little extra careful. Someone said 5 short. Ooh. That's not good. 24 ducks to the inside. Faulkner going to now try to split up from Randy Waugh on the 21. You see everyone's starting to migrate to the bottom line towards the back. You now have only 4 cars out there. The 500 now towards the back. That crunch car. You don't want the only one to be the only one. Yeah. I would still rather, though, take half a can of fuel, and if I have to wait, if I'm waiting in the box for somebody else to get released, I'd rather do that, or at least start rolling off the pit lane, and then when I see them start catching me, then because we're getting really pushy here going into the entry of the quarters. We're getting a little aggressive. We're coming up to a pit stop here. See if anyone ducks off on the inside line this time. We're going to see 4 cars come down pit lane. 24, 12, 22, and the 13 trailing behind. 22, a rocket might have been a little bit too much of a rocket coming down pit lane. We'll stay with the cars on track. We'll catch you up with these 4 on pit road this time by and see how many come on lap 145. Have to think these drivers are all going to have to come to pit lane this time, so a large group, the largest we've seen at one time come down pit lane, is about to hit pit road in the closing stage of this race. Let's see how Randy Waugh elects to lead them down pit road here, coming off of turn number 4. Everyone else down pit lane, they're all together. Waugh going to be really quick to the line. Might have been too quick. Balser, Williams, Lovell, Smith, and Speed. As you see, the Rocket and Faulkner are both off of pit road, but they lost DVD in the 12. He is way back. I think that car took 4 tires for some reason. Rest of these cars keep revving, trying to get back going. Here comes Smith. He'll be the first off of pit lane. Came down 5th. And these guys, they're all close together coming off of pit road, and they will be linked up. So let's go back. Here comes Rocket in the 22, Faulkner in the 24. They might be able to get around all these guys heading down into turns 1 and 2. Into the corner they go. They will be up to speed. Rest of the field, not so likely. 5 to go here from Talladega. Down the back straightaway we will go. You see the rest of the field getting up to speed, but Smith has help from Balser in the 079. They are already linked up, and they are moving through turns 3 and 4. Folks, it might come down to be a 2-car race to end this thing. The 500 and the 079 linked up together. You see Smith in the 500 going high. That allows the 079 to get to the inside here through the tri-oval. 4 laps to go from Talladega. .500 up and out of line. Here comes Williams in the 7 with help from Lovell in the 088. Those two Fords together. Rick Speed going to jump right up in front of the 500. Now going to jump low of the 079 of Balser. He'll move through to 3rd. If he can just get a little bit of help from the 088 and 7 through turns 3 and 4, and he will. Top 5 have broken away from the rest of the field. This time at the line, it'll be 3 laps to go. The field has been splintered, as Jim Williams will have the lead here, taking 3 to go. Right level, though, in the 088, challenging here. Rick Speed there in 3rd, Nate Balser in 4th. Also there in the 079. Riding in 4th. We saw that car being the leader of the outside line for so much of this green flag run. Can he make a charge to the win? Rick Speed in that 008 has also been super strong. He now allows the 079 to get to the inside through the tri-oval. 2 laps to go here from Talladega. Can Greg Lovell make a charge at Jim Williams? It's going to be tough because not enough help is coming from behind. As the Xerox Ford of Williams has the lead. Big move there by Lovell to the outside. Balser in the 079 going to jump out there. Maybe a little bump from the 008 of Speed, but Lovell going to go to the lead. Now the 8 car drops to the bottom. Side-by-side battle for the lead here. More cars on the bottom. The numbers advantage goes to the 7 of Williams. Speed through for 2nd, and Smith going to take 3rd. Into the tri-oval. White flag will be in the air. 1 lap to go here from Talladega. 1 lap remains here in the Talladega 400. And Jim Williams hold on to take the victory here in the Openspeedway Talladega 400, able to drop down to that yellow line now here on the last lap. You see he's going to take full advantage of that. Here comes Speed with the move to the outside. He moves up. Smith going to get to the back of the 7, but the numbers advantage going to be in the outside line. Lovell in the 088 there, going to try to get to the back bumper of the 8 and edge him ahead for a second, but Jim Williams in the 7, he is clear of the outside. Going to drop to the bottom here through the tri-oval. Here comes Smith on the bottom, a big run from Rick Speed on the outside. He'll take the lead, coming to the line, and the 8 car of Rick Speed wins here at the Openspeedway Talladega 400. What a move! What a move! My goodness. Rick Speed, your Talladega 400 winner, folks, and let's take a look back at how he did it. A big move to the outside with help and the numbers advantage. Greg Lovell going to come home in second. Jim Williams going to have to be disappointed most likely with the third place run, but the 8 car, I mean, man, oh man. What a move. The confidence to get out of line and try to look for a way around. Rick Speed takes home the victory here tonight from Talladega. Oh, don't think he got the opportunity to do burnouts here. I'm assuming. Is that correct? That is correct. So, Rick Speed, your race winner here tonight. Greg Lovell in second. Jim Williams third. We will move on to our post-race coverage here on JTN. Get results on your screens momentarily. And before we do that, let's go ahead and get a word with our friends again at AutoSim 2. Have you ever wanted to manage your own racing team? Or what if you could go back in time to see if a particular season could have finished differently? Well, folks, have no fear because AutoSim 2 is here. With fully customizable roster files, you can create your own world or try to recreate the past. Heck, you could even try to predict the future through AutoSim 2's Sim Mode. Don't like the passive approach? Well, then get more hands-on in owner mode, where you decide who drives your cars and what companies will sponsor them. Down on your luck? Well, then scout some new talent that will get you to the top. Already super successful? Try moving up the ladder or expanding to truly solidify your racing empire. However you want to play, AutoSim 2 has you covered and is now available for purchase through the Steam store for $9.99. Now go make your mark and build your legacy in AutoSim 2. Again, folks, AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. And go check it out. AutoSim 2 now available on Steam for $9.99. Again, results incoming here. Still getting things sorted for everyone at home. But what a thrilling finish. Rick Speed able to take home the victory tonight from Talladega. Or this afternoon, rather. The great move there off of turn number 4, through turns 3 and 4, really. But got the help when he needed it. Took advantage of the pushers being really aggressive. Does a great job. Seals up a victory here in the Openspeedway Talladega. In the Openspeedway Talladega 400. go ahead and yeah, a great race indeed. See a lot of folks saying similar things to what I'm thinking, so that's always good. So results on your screens now. Let's go ahead and start. Let's start by talking with our race winner here tonight. Hey, Rick Speed, driver the 008. You got a copy?
Yes, sir, I do.
Hey, Mr. Race winner, how's Victory Lane feel with those Budweisers?
Oh, it's really nice. It's great. It's fantastic. My first win at Openspeedway, actually, in one of our events.
Really?
At one of our big events. I've never won a big event at Openspeedway. Yeah.
So to that, with it being the first, how special is that? Because obviously, you know, we talk about with all kinds of leagues. Every league, a lot of leagues have these special events, and a lot of the drivers that are here for week in and week out, these are the ones that you really want to win. How gratifying is it to finally get that big trophy?
I tell you what, it's very special. I was sitting behind Jim Williams for the longest time. I was thinking, oh, should I push him to a win? You know what? I haven't won one of these. Let me go for it. And yeah, that was all about going for that victory that I've never done before. So it's fantastic.
Well, take us through that move there through 3 and 4, because it, you know, I think a few laps earlier you elected to kind of get out of line and you dropped to the back. What was that a move you were setting up for a couple laps to then jump out of line there on the last lap, or was it just, all right, this is my chance to try to advance my position. Let's see how well it goes.
It was a move for the win. It was a move for the win. It didn't work out. However, I just dropped back in line and just to see how it played out. So then later on, as we got further down the road, we got near that last lap, I saw Greg Lovell coming up on the outside. I said, you know what? Let me go up there because I have a feeling he's going to push me. And sure enough, it all worked out. Thanks to Greg all the way on that.
Well, Rick, it all works out. A fantastic run here tonight. Congratulations on that first big event win here at Openspeedway. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity and want to, again, great looking paint scheme. I think everyone absolutely adores the Budweiser 8. But before we let you go, I want to give you the opportunity. A lot of great folks here at Openspeedway, a lot of great things going on. I want to give you the floor for shout outs, friends, family, folks here, sponsors, whatever you got. Floor is yours, buddy.
Thank you very much, Joe. I would like to thank, first of all, Ralph, host of Openspeedway, all the admins and bosses who do their work here, especially Rick Becker, who also does all the events we have here at Openspeedway. I would also like to thank Budweiser for sponsoring me for all this time, for all the years I've been racing Openspeedway, and everything we do at Openspeedway. I really appreciate everyone who's helped me out here, and also thank you, Greg, for helping me push me to the win. And yeah, thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Joe.
Rick, again, congratulations on the win. And remember, you got a video for all time to show folks when they say, "Have you won one of those big events?" Oh, heck yeah, I have. Here's the link. Go watch it. Congratulations on the win here tonight. And again, thank you so much for your time after it. Now go celebrate, buddy.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joe. I definitely will.
Rick Speed, driver of the 008, your race winner here tonight. Let's go ahead and next bring in our second place finisher. He's the driver of the 088. Greg Lovell. Greg, you got a copy?
Yeah, Joe. How you been, buddy?
I've been pretty good. I was going to say a long time no talk, but a second place run here in a 400-mile race. First, how tired are you, first off? Because that was a lot of really, really nail-biting racing action out there. But how good is it to finish really well in one of these big events?
Feels good. My butt's a little sore, but I'll take it.
We talked with Rick, and he was very thankful for the pushes there at the end. How did you manage to get so much momentum like you did? I mean, throughout this race, we saw you kind of drop. You had dropped to the back, to the front. Had some internet issues about halfway through. How much of that kind of having to get out of the way at times? How much did that prepare you for the end of this race to try to mount a charge to a good finish?
I backed out once and went to the back because I was trying to eat. I didn't want to cause a wreck. But yeah, when he was coming off turn 4 there at the very end, there was a gap there, and I knew I was going to get a run off the turn, and I knew if I could bump him just enough, I might be able to shove him past Jim. So I knew I wasn't going to win it, but I could at least try to get somebody else to win.
Well, you pushed that 008 to a win. Was there anything else maybe you could have done in those closing stages to have a better shot, or was it really just it kind of came down to where you came off a pit road?
Yeah, I tried there with about 3 laps,
Mhm.
four laps to go, and just didn't work out. They had more on the bottom line than we had on top, and we just couldn't get the speed. But we had a good pit stop. Nate had a good pit. Jim had a good pit. You can start low lining with 5 to go, and that kind of, if you're the front guy and you can block right without causing a wreck, it's kind of hard to pass you. But second place is good enough.
Well, Greg, second place run here tonight. Congratulations on that. Before we let you go, though, I want to give you the opportunity. You've done this plenty of times. I think you know what to do. The floor is yours, buddy.
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to Openspeedway for putting on this race. I'd like to give a shout out to BSR, Tally Knights, and all you guys. Joe, you do a good job too, buddy. Thank you for what you do.
Well, Greg, thank you for taking the time to talk with us. And again, congratulations on the podium finish, second place run here tonight.
Thanks, Joe.
Greg Lovell, driver of the 088, your second place finisher here tonight. Our third place finisher, Jim Williams, we can't locate him at the track, so we're not going to be able to have an interview with him. So that'll kind of wrap up our interviews here. But folks, again, cannot thank you enough for tuning in to JTN this afternoon. We got another great race coming up for you later on tonight. We're going to have another race with Openspeedway on May 13th, a special event in honor of Admin Gordon McCulloch. So we'll have that May 13th, so be on the lookout for that link going up and announcements and details about that race. We can't thank you enough for tuning in here to JTN this week. We've had an action-packed week, and we hope you continue on throughout the rest of the weekend. We're going to be live again later on this evening at 10:40 p.m. Eastern Time from Michigan with the USRL Cup Series. We'll be live tomorrow night from right back here at Talladega with the Fast Renegade Cup Series. A lot of great racing action. You're not going to want to miss a second of it. You can also head on over to openspeedway.net to find out more about Openspeedway, how to sign up, how to get involved, and get in the know, because a lot of great racing weeknights here, or all throughout the week here at Openspeedway. So, I mean, get in on the action. You don't want to miss any of it. With all that being said, though, folks, for all of us here at JTN, we hope to see you later on this evening. But for all of us here on JTN, for our producer Bristol, I've been Joe Twansky. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you guys next time live right here on JTN. So long for now, folks. Yeah, and they're gonna be 3 wide coming to the checker. Never mind, they're gonna be. Oh! Turn 4 into the triangle, Whitehill and through the grass. It's going to be Noah Joyce winning his first career race in the Red Bull Cup Series.
Off the ride and a wrecking behind him. Good cars flying everywhere. Cars upside down, it doesn't matter. Noah Joyce has done it. He's won at Daytona in the 3 car.
Behind, they're going to be side by side again. Contact there between Cinder and Bordeaux for
Oh, the contact! Oakley into the wall. That's going to be Jack Healy coming to the line.
Jack Healy wins the ride.